Electrical energy, 24 hours a day. VEAG Vereinigte Energiewerke AG is the biggest super-regional energy producer and distributor in the East German federal states. With its 4 lignite power plants, a hard coal power plant, the gas turbine power plants, the new hydro power plants, and a high-voltage transmission network of around 10,000 kilometers long, VEAG supplies the regional electricity companies. These in turn supply the energy to the municipal companies, end users, households, industry and trade. 93% of VEAG's energy is produced by the lignite-fired power plants. This ensures safe and continual basic supply, day and night. About 3% of the energy is from hard coal, 1% from gas, and 3% from water. The south part of Brandenburg, where the Spree will be made into a dam. In the green countryside of Spremberg, the city of Spremberg is in a state of renewal. The Schwarze Pumpe area of Spremberg has an old industrial tradition, and with the building of the new power plant, it is once again an energy-producing location. In Schwarze Pumpe, VEAG has erected the most modern lignite-fired power plant in the world. 23rd of October 1993, the laying of the foundation stone of the new landmark in Lusatia.
Möge dieser Bau zügig und ohne Unfall vorangehen. Möge die Kohle und die Energie aus der Niederlausitz gefestigt und das wirtschaftliche Rückgrat dieser Region bleiben. Möge es den Menschen in diesem Lande gut gehen.
The builders are as quick as the planners and work with great momentum. At times, there are 4,000 people working on the building site, 47 cranes, 15 mobile cranes, and many vehicles are in operation. The boiler support stretches into the sky and will eventually reach a height of 161 meters, approximately 500,000 cubic meters of concrete, 35,000 tons of iron reinforcement rods, and about 250,000 tons of steel and equipment are needed at the building site. Before the water can be heated in the boiler, nearly 120 kilometers of pipes are welded together. The 25th of July 1996, all the pipes are watertight. The steam boiler receives its official model plate. The power plant has become the engine of the region, employing more than 500 companies with an average of 2,000 workers. Great precision is needed for the mounting of the turbine. The 420-ton generator. The huge masses for the construction site are in transit, over the water, by rail, and by specialized lifting machinery. Miners and energy employees together receive the first coal train. After 3.5 years of building work, energy flows into the grid for the first time. Modern industrial architecture. This new power plant building is a long way from the plant architecture of the past. June 1998. At the commissioning, Chancellor Helmut Kohl and the Minister-President Manfred Stolpe praised the importance of the investment in the Lusatian area, the modern environmentally friendly technology, and for the efforts of those who took part.
Das Kraftwerk mit seinen beiden 800 MW-Blöcken, einem Nettowirkungsgrad von über 40%, bestimmt nunmehr weltweit den Stand der Technik zur Braunkohleverstromung.
Wir sind hier mit dieser Entscheidung vor 4 Jahren bei der Grundsteinlegung, ist ein ganz klares Ja zur Braunkohle gesagt worden. Ich will das ja ausdrücklich noch einmal erneuern. Und die Investitionen in einer Größenordnung von rund 5 Milliarden D-Mark haben neue Arbeitsplätze, sichere Arbeitsplätze, zukunftssichere Arbeitsplätze geschaffen.
Effective. 1,600 megawatts of electrical energy are made available by the 2 units, enough to power 2 million households. Further transmission is conducted through the transformer station Graustein into VEAG's own 380 kilovolt network. District heating. 260 megawatts of district heating supply homes and businesses in Hoyerswerda, Spremberg and Schwarze Pumpe. Process steam. 24,000 tons of process steam is produced daily for the refining of the raw lignite into briquettes and coal dust by Laubach. The energy content of the raw lignite can be exchanged into other energy forms by up to 55%. Gypsum production from raw gas cleaning. About 1,600 tons of raw gypsum are produced at full capacity every day. Further processing is then done in the neighbouring gypsum plant. Lignite. The raw material for the power plant is extracted from the open cast mine in Welzow. "36,000 tons per day are needed. The trains come in every 40 minutes. Water. About 70,000 cubic meters of water have to be prepared before being used in the power plant process. The water is pumped from the groundwater of the open cast mine. Limestone. The flue gas desulfurization needs about 1,000 tons per day. The air over Schwarze Pumpe is now clean. The emissions have been drastically reduced in comparison with the old methods of energy production. The many-staged electrofilters almost completely absorb the dust. New combustion technology with different air conducting levels reduces the emission of nitric oxides. The flue gas desulfurization plant keeps the sulfur dioxide way under the authorized levels. Level of efficiency, 41%. This means at Schwarze Pumpe, 1/3 less coal for the same performance. In this way, the corresponding coal dioxide output is avoided. The result: the modern technology has led to a noticeable relief for the area in terms of toxic emissions. And modern environmental technology proves that lignite-fired power plants are competitive with other methods of energy production. Once it has been delivered by the coal mine train, the coal is tipped into the power plant and coarse ground. It goes from the bunker over conveyor belts and down shafts to the coal mills. The raw lignite is ground by the beater mill wheels into coal dust and blown through the burner into the boiler. There are 8 coal mills to each boiler. The beater mill wheels have a diameter of 4 meters and each one processes around 100 tons of fuel per hour. Flue gas is branched off from the combustion chamber of the steam boiler to dry out the coal. This stream of flue gas picks up the coal dust and forces it into the burners. The coal dust is burnt in the steam boiler at a temperature of 1000 degrees Celsius. This hot flue gas then heats up the sucked-in combustion air. 99% of the dust is then extracted from the flue gas through the electrofilter. The induced draft fan forces the flue gas into the heat exchanger. At that point, it is at a temperature of 170 degrees Celsius. Here, the rest of the heat is extracted for the preheating of the feed water. The flue gas cools by 130 degrees Celsius. The flue gas is then sprayed with limestone suspension in the desulfurization plant. The sulfur dioxide in the raw gas undergoes a chemical reaction and turns into gypsum. The cleaned gas flows into the cooling tower at a temperature of about 65 degrees Celsius. and is released into the atmosphere along with the cooling tower steam. (320 bar). This is the pressure under which the feed water is forced into the steam boiler, where it is turned into steam and superheated to a temperature of 547 degrees Celsius. The steam pressure is 268 bar. The superheated steam first flows through the high pressure stage of the turbine. To reheat the steam, the intermediate pressure, it is channeled through the steam boiler and then back into the medium pressure stage of the turbine. Then it follows its way through the two low pressure stages. By flowing through the turbine, the thermal energy of the steam converts into movement. The turbine is linked to the generator by an axle. The control station, the nerve center of the whole power plant. The whole power plant process is controlled from here by using the most modern control system technology. After leaving the low pressure stage, the steam is completely used up. The temperature is merely 30 degrees Celsius. In order to turn the steam into water or condensate, the heat has to be extracted. This is done in the condensers with the help of a separate cooling cycle. This is how the condensation heat is transported to the cooling tower. The drift eliminator prevents the water drops from being released. The transformers are in the machine house. These transform the energy produced by the generator from 27,000 volts to 380,000 volts. Here, the energy is released from the power plant. The steam from the medium pressure turbine is used as process steam for a briquette factory. The pressure at this stage is 4.5 bar. The district heating steam from the low pressure stage of the turbine is linked to a preheater. Job sharing, the reality at Schwarze Pumpe power plant. And in a modern job sharing model, there are only 317 employees. But in this way, 28 additional workplaces have been created. The power plant draws guests from near and far, and the methods of transport are varied. But the steam train is by far the most interesting. The power plant is a magnet, not only because of its modern technology, but also for the outstanding view from this vantage point. Also, outside the power plant engineers are ever present, as here at the International Building Exhibition. Thousands of visitors come to the open day every year. the Power Plant Gallery. The art exhibition is not only of interest to people of Hoyerswerda and Spremberg, but is visited by art lovers nationwide.